Hi there folks, and welcome back to another one-stop trivia Big Sunday quiz. Hope you are still enjoying them. So we're doing this on a new schedule now. I'm going to be recording one of these every other week, and the short round quizzes will be coming out about two or three times a week. It's just doing one every day and then a Big Sunday quiz every week it's just getting a bit too much. So thought we'll space them out a bit more and hopefully keep the quality up, and you'll all be able to keep enjoying them. Okay, so that being said, I'm also trying a slightly new layout of the quiz based on some feedback that I had from someone who's watching them. So we'll see how this goes. If it works, we'll keep it. If not, we'll go back to the way it was before. Okay, so we'll get on, shall we? Here we go then. So as usual, this is a free quiz. If you find that you've got £1 or $1 or anything you're able to spare, even just a very small amount, why not consider giving a small donation to charity? I realise pubs still aren't open quite yet, so saving a couple of quid there, off a pint or whatnot. I try and raise money myself for the Ao Khao Foundation here in Phnom Penh, which provides the only free primary school in the city. Obviously a lot of people can't afford to send their children here to fee-paying schools, so anything that if you're able to make a donation at all, anything that you can give is very much appreciated. Donations can be made via kidsneededucation.org, the link that's there on the screen, and so up in the top left all the way through the quiz as well. The other website you'll see at the top left there is onestoptrivia.com. That's the website for One Stop Trivia. You can find all of our old quizzes, the quiz book that I've written, some apps, all sorts of bits and pieces there. That's why we're called One Stop Trivia. Got everything that you need all in the one place. Okay, so that being said, let's get on with the quiz. Here we go. So round one, as usual, is going to be general knowledge. Okay, so here we go. Question number one. What colours are the 5 Olympic rings? Okay, so on the flag of the International Olympic Committee, there are 5 rings. What colours are they? Okay, question number 2. How many time zones are there in China? Okay, so China, obviously a very big country. How many time zones? Question number 3. Goal shooter, goal attack, and wing attack are playing positions in which sport? Okay, so again, goal shooter, goal attack, and wing attack are playing positions in which sport? Okay, question number 4. Here we go. In medical terms, what does the term GP stand for? GP. So what do those initials stand for? Okay, question number 5. Which US president was diagnosed with polio after becoming paralyzed from the waist down? Okay, so which US president was diagnosed with polio after becoming paralyzed from the waist down? And last question in the round here. Which is the only vowel not used as the first letter in a US state's name? Okay, so think of all the US state names that you know. Think of the ones beginning with vowels. One of the vowels isn't used as the first letter of a state's name. Which one? Okay, and quick recap of the questions before we go on to the answers. So number 1, what colour are the 5 Olympic rings? Number 2, how many time zones are there in China? Question number 3, goal shooter, goal attack, and wing attack are playing positions in which sport? In medical terms, what does the term GP stand for? And which US president was diagnosed with polio after becoming paralyzed from the waist down? And finally, question number 6, which is the only vowel not used as the first letter in a US state's name? Okay, so I hope you've got your score. I hope you've got your answers down. We'll go over them now, shall we? So, number 1 was the 5 rings. So, we'll give you a point for each of these that you get right. They are blue, yellow, black, green, and red. Okay, blue, yellow, black, green, and red. Number 2, in China, although it's a big country, there is actually only one time zone. That is Beijing time. Okay, number 3, those positions were from the game of netball. Netball. Number 4, GP stands for general practitioner. Number 5, the US president who was diagnosed with polio was Franklin D. Roosevelt. And finally, the only vowel not used as the first letter of a US state's name is the letter E. So with A, you've got things like Alabama, I, you've got Indiana, Idaho sort of thing, O, you've got Ohio, and you've got Utah. So it is E. Okay, so keep a note of your scores and we'll tally them up at the end. Pop them down in the comments once you've finished. Let us know how you did. And also, just before I go on, I should probably say as well, if you can give the video a like if you enjoy the quiz, and subscribe to the channel, to our channel as well. It'll keep you up to date on any new quizzes and videos as and when they come out. Okay, so on to round 2, which is geography today. Round 2 is geography. So, question number 1, which country has the longest coastline in the world? Okay, so which country has the longest coastline in the world? Okay. Question number 2, which Asian country is bigger than France, Germany and Spain combined, but has a population of a little over only 2 million people? Okay, so very big country, very few people. So again, it's bigger than France, Spain and Germany combined. Its population, is a little over 2 million. What's the country? And it's obviously in Asia. Okay, question number 3. The world's first national park was established in 1862 in which country, and what was the park called? Okay, so 2 points here available. The world's first national park was established in which country in 1862, and what was the park called? Question number 4. What part of Cuba was unsuccessfully invaded in 1961? Okay, so quite a famous one that, but it was an attempt to invade Cuba, this particular part of Cuba in 1961, but it failed. So which part of Cuba was it? Question number 5. Which European capital city is divided by canals into about 90 islands joined by about 400 bridges? Okay, so which European capital city is divided by canals into 90 islands joined by about 400 bridges? Okay, give this one a thought. It might not be the one that you immediately think of. Okay, and question number 6, which 2 South American countries do not share a border with Brazil? Okay, so there's only 2 countries in South America that don't border with Brazil. What are they? Okay, so quick recap. Question number 1, which country has the longest coastline in the world? Question number 2, which Asian country is bigger than France, Spain and Germany combined but has a population of a little over 2 million? Question number 3. The world's first national park was established in 1862 in which country, and what was the park called? And question number 4. What part of Cuba was unsuccessfully invaded in 1961? Question number 5. Which European capital city is divided by canals into about 90 islands, joined by about 400 bridges? And question number 6. Which 2 South American countries do not share a border with Brazil? Okay, so we've got your answers down. You're ready to go? I hope you are, because we're going to go over the answers now then. Here we go. Number 1, the country with the longest coastline is Canada. Canada. The Asian country that's very large with very few people is Mongolia. Okay, Mongolia. The first national park was in the USA, and it was Yellowstone National Park. So 2 points if you got both of those. Number 4, the part of Cuba that was an attempt to be invaded was the Bay of Pigs. Number 5, the European capital city with all the canals and bridges is Amsterdam. Amsterdam. And the 2 South American countries that do not border Brazil are Chile and Ecuador. Okay, so 1 point for each of those. So again, tot up your scores, keep a note, and we'll get the final tallies at the end. Here we go then, round number 3. This one is a new round for me on this quiz, so it's called Answer Smash. So what we'll do is we're going to give you a picture and a clue, and both the picture and the clue have got sort of similar parts, and you need to make them, you need to put them together to form a single answer. Now, because it's a new one, I thought I'll give you an example here. So this is our example. You see, so the picture there is Paddington Bear, and the clue is the singer who had a hit with Santa Baby and who appeared as Catwoman in the original 60s Batman TV show. So that is Eartha Kitt. So what we're actually looking for here, as you can see in red, is Paddington Bertha Kitt. They're both joined together. I hope that's clear, because otherwise the next few questions are going to be a little bit confusing. So again, one picture, one clue, mash them together where they join up. Okay, so let's get on. Number 1, this picture, who's the singer? And the second part is the DC Comics superhero, who's a princess from the island of Themyscira, who goes by the name of Diana Prince as her alter ego. So I want you to join those 2 together. What do you get? Okay, number 2. Who's this in the picture? I'll give you a clue again, it's a musician. And the second part of it is musical husband and wife duo of the 60s and 70s. They had a hit with I Got You Babe. Okay, I'll give you a second or 2 on that one. Okay, question number 3. So this one, I've actually got this the other way round, so it's the clue first and then the picture second. So, a 1968 sci-fi movie starring Jane Fonda as the title character, based on a comic of the same name, and then the singer in the picture. So again, smash them together. What do you get? So, a 1968 sci-fi movie starring Jane Fonda as the title character, based on a comic of the same name. Okay, question number 4. What is this musical instrument? And the second part is a book series by Edgar Rice Burroughs, which was published between 1912 and 1966. Okay, so the picture of the instrument and then a book series by Edgar Rice Burroughs, which was published between 1912 and 1966. What's the answer we're looking for? Question number 5. Who's this cartoon cat? And the second part is a 1989 American sports movie starring Kevin Costner, based on the 1982 novel Shoeless Joe. So again, a 1989 American sports movie starring Kevin Costner, based on the 1982 novel Shoeless Joe. And finally, we have, so which country is this we're looking at? I'll give you a clue, which European country are we looking at? And the second part is a 1999 American football movie directed by Oliver Stone and starring Al Pacino as a fictional Miami Sharks coach, Tony D'Amato, giving some very inspiring speeches during the film, as you'd expect. So again, 1999 American football movie directed by Oliver Stone and starring Al Pacino as Miami Sharks coach, Tony D'Amato. So mash that and the country name together and you get your answer smash. Okay, so quick recap again. So it's the singer plus the DC Comics superhero, the princess from the island of Themyscira, who goes by the name of Diana Prince as her alter ego. And you've got this singer and a musical husband and wife duo of the 60s and 70s. They had a hit with I Got You Babe. Number 3 is a 1968 sci-fi movie starring Jane Fonda as the title character and based on a comic of the same name, plus the singer in the picture. Question number 4 is the musical instrument, plus a book series by Edgar Rice Burroughs, which was published between 1912 and 1966. Question 5 is this cartoon cat, and a 1989 American sports movie starring Kevin Costner, based on the 1982 novel Shoeless Joe. And question number 6, which is this European country, and a 1999 American football movie directed by Oliver Stone, starring Al Pacino as Miami Sharks coach, Tony D'Amato. Okay, so how do you do in that round? Hopefully not too confusing. So here we go, we'll go on with the answers then, shall we? So, number 1, Stevie Wonder Woman is the answer we're looking for. So obviously Stevie Wonder, Wonder Woman, Stevie Wonder Woman. Number 2 was Chris Christopher, Sonny and Cher. So in the photo is Chris Christopherson and the husband and wife duo was Sonny and Cher. So the answer we wanted was Chris Christopher, Sonny and Cher. These are making more sense now. Number 3, Barbarella Fitzgerald. Barbarella Fitzgerald. So Barbarella was the sci-fi movie and the singer in the photo was Ella Fitzgerald. Number 4, Sitarzan. Sitarzan. So the instrument was the sitar and the book series was Tarzan. Number 5 was Garfield of Dreams. Again, the cat was Garfield, Field of Dreams was the movie. And number 6, Germany Given Sunday. So Germany is the country and Any Given Sunday was the movie. So to get the points for these, you do need to get the mashed up version, okay? So Stevie Wonder Woman, Chris Christopher, Sonny and Cher, Barbarella Fitzgerald, Sitarzan, Garfield of Dreams and Germany Given Sunday. I hope you like that, because I'm guessing that round is going to reappear in the future. I quite like the format. So, moving on. Round number 4, back to a bit more normal questions here. This one is science. Okay, so question number 1. Which 4 planets of the solar system have rings? Okay, so 4 points available here. So 4 of the planets in our solar system have rings. Which ones are they? Okay, question number 2. What, after oxygen, is the second most common component of the Earth's crust? So we're looking for a chemical element here. So what, after oxygen, is the second most common component of the Earth's crust? Question number 3. What was the name of the shuttle from which the final lunar landing took place, and in which year was it? So obviously the first lunar landing was Apollo 11 in 1969, but which shuttle and which year did the final lunar landings take place? Okay, so 2 points available there. And for the year, I'll give you 1 year either side on that one as well, because I'm feeling generous. Okay, question number 4. Someone with anosmia is lacking what? So anosmia is kind of like I don't know if it's a disease in itself, but it's something that you can be afflicted with, anosmia. So what are you lacking if you have anosmia? Question number 5. What are the 4 types of tooth in a human mouth? Okay, so everyone's got 4 types of teeth. What are they? 1 point available for each that you get right. Okay. Question number 6, last one in the round. What is the longest and widest nerve in the human body, running from the lower back through the buttocks and into the legs? I can tell you if something goes wrong with it, it's very painful. Okay, so what is the longest and widest nerve in the human body, running from the lower back through the buttocks and into the legs? Okay, so quick recap of the science questions. Here we go. Which 4 planets of the solar system have rings? What, after oxygen, is the second most common component of the Earth's crust? Question 3. What is the name of the shuttle from which the final lunar landing took place, and in which year was it? And say we'll give you a year either side on the year. Question number 4. What someone with anosmia is lacking what? Question number 5. What are the 4 types of tooth in the human mouth? And question number 6, what is the longest and widest nerve in the human body, running from the lower back through the buttocks and into the legs? Okay, so I hope you've got all your answers down. Let's go through them. Number 1, the planets with rings are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Okay, so 1 point for each of those. The element that is second most abundant in the Earth's crust is silicon. Silicon. Number 3, it was Apollo 17 was the last lunar landing. The year was 1972, so we'll accept 1971 through 1973. Number 4, if you have anosmia, you are lacking a sense of smell. It's actually a bit, I believe, was one of the symptoms of the coronavirus actually came in. It was discovered later, a lack of taste and smell. Number 5, the 4 types of tooth in the human mouth is the incisor, the canine, the molar and the premolar. Okay, so 1 point for each of those that you get. The incisor, the canine, the molar and the premolar. And number 6, the biggest nerve in the body is the sciatic nerve. Okay, the sciatic nerve. It's where things like, you get things like sciatica from, which is very painful. Okay, tot up your scores. Let's see how I did. There's a good few points available there, about 13 points available. Okay, so on to round number 5. This one is true or false round. So I'm just going to give you 6 statements, 1 for each question. You just have to tell me if it is true or it is false. Okay, so number 1, Dolly Parton is the godmother of Miley Cyrus. Is that true or false? Again, Dolly Parton is the godmother of Miley Cyrus. Number 2, in Japan, they make ornamental triangular watermelons. Again, true or false? What do you reckon? All sorts of crazy stuff goes on in Japan. So, do they make ornamental triangular watermelons? What do you think? Question number 3. Halle Berry was the first African American woman to win an Academy Award. Is that true or is it false? So again, Halle Berry was the first African American woman to win an Academy Award. Question number 4. Since 1945, all British tanks have come equipped with tea-making facilities. Obviously us Brits love a cup of tea. Again, since 1945, all British tanks have come equipped with tea-making facilities. Question number 5. Russia has a larger surface area than Pluto. Russia has a larger surface area than Pluto. What do you think? And question number 6. Stephen King's book The Shining was originally to be called Halloween Hotel. So The Shining was originally to be called Halloween Hotel. What do you reckon, true or false? Okay, so quick recap. Number 1, Dolly Parton is the godmother of Miley Cyrus. Number 2, in Japan they make ornamental triangular watermelons. Number 3, Halle Berry was the first African American woman to win an Academy Award. Number 4, since 1945, all British tanks have come equipped with tea-making facilities. Number 5, Russia has a larger surface area than Pluto. And number 6, Stephen King's The Shining was originally to be called Halloween Hotel. Okay then, let's go through the answers, see how you did. Number 1 is true. So Dolly Parton is Miley Cyrus's godmother. She's a longtime friend of Miley's father, Billy Ray Cyrus. Number 2 was false, and I'm just trying to remember what number 2 was now. Okay, number 3 was false. Number 4 was true. Number 5 was true. And number 6 was false. Okay, here we go then, on to the next round. This one is Doctor Doctor, so this is our picture round. Okay, so each of these pictures is a fictional doctor, so I just want you to give me the name of the doctor. So here we go, number 1. Who's this? Okay, number 2, here we go, who's this? Number 3. And number 4. Number 5. And number 6. Okay, so I hope you've got all those. Quick recap though. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. And number 6. Okay, hope you got all your answers down. Let's see what they are. So number 1 was Dr. Meredith Grey from the long-running medical drama Grey's Anatomy. Number 2 was Dr. John J.D. Dorian from comedy Scrubs. Number 3 was Dr. Zoidberg from the cartoon Futurama. Okay. Number 4 was Dr. John Watson, okay, as in Holmes and Watson, Sherlock Holmes and John Watson. Number 5 was Dr. Michaela Quinn from the show Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. And number 6 was Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy from Star Trek. So that was from the original Star Trek show. Now played by, I think, Carl Urban in the remake movies that this did. Okay, so here we go. On to the next round then. Round 7 is entertainment. Okay, entertainment. So, number 1, which fictional defense lawyer turned private detective who has appeared in over 80 novels and short stories is returning to the small screen on HBO, played by Welsh actor Matthew Rhys? Okay, so very famous. Which fictional defense lawyer turned private detective who has appeared in over 80 novels and short stories is returning to the small screen on HBO, played by Welsh actor Matthew Rhys? Question number 2. In the TV show Friends, the 6 main characters appear in all 235 episodes. Which character appears in the most episodes after them? So obviously, you know, Ross, Rachel, Joey, Chandler, Phoebe, and Monica all appeared in every episode. But which character has appeared in the next most number of episodes? Question number 3. Which of her own characters did Agatha Christie call a detestable, bombastic, tiresome, egocentric little creep? Sounds like a lovely person. So again, which of her own characters did Agatha Christie call a detestable, bombastic, tiresome, egocentric little creep? Question number 4. What are the names of the Bronte sisters? Okay, so obviously the Bronte sisters, famous authors. What are their names? So 1 point for each of them that you get right. And just to be mean, I'm not telling you how many there are. Let's see if you can see if you know. Give you a few seconds on this one. Okay, question number 5. In Frank Baum's novel, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, on which the film is based, what colour are Dorothy's slippers? So this is it. This is from the novel that we're looking for the answer. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. What colour are Dorothy's slippers? And question number 6, last one in entertainment. Which famous American writer has also published novels under the name Richard Bachman? Richard Bachman is his pseudonym. So famous American author has published novels under that pseudonym. Who is he? Or I guess I could say who is she, but I've probably just given you a bit of a clue there, telling you it's a he. Okay, quick recap. Which fictional defense lawyer turned private detective who has appeared in over 80 novels and short stories is returning to the small screen on HBO, played by Welsh actor Matthew Rhys? Question 2. In the TV show Friends, the 6 main characters appear in 235 episodes in all of them. Which character appears in the next most number of episodes after them? Question number 3. Which of her own characters did Agatha Christie call a detestable, bombastic, tiresome, egocentric little creep? Question 4. What are the names of the Bronte sisters? Number 5. In Frank Baum's novel The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, on which the film is based, what colour are Dorothy's slippers? And question number 6. Which famous American writer has also published novels under the name of Richard Bachman? Okay, So you think you got all your answers down? I hope you have. Let's go over and see how you did. So, number one, the private detective and defense attorney was Perry Mason. Perry Mason. Number two, after the main characters in Friends, the person who's appeared in the next number of episodes was the character of Gunther, the coffee shop owner played by James Michael Taylor, who appeared in 150 episodes, or is at least credited to appear in 150 episodes. Number three, the Agatha Christie character that she didn't seem to particularly like was Hercule Poirot, played by David Suchet in the TV show. The Bronte sisters are Anne, Charlotte and Emily, so 3 points available there. Well done if you got those. Number five, Dorothy's slippers in the Wonderful Wizard of Oz in the book are silver. They were changed to ruby slippers for the movie because of the introduction of Technicolor. So they wanted to show off the bright colours that were available. So they changed them to ruby slippers in the movie. But we want silver. And question number six, the author who's written under the name of Richard Bachman is Stephen King. Stephen King. Okay, so again, tot up your scores. I think 8 points available in that round. So, round number 8, we're on to missing persons. So I've done missing persons once or twice before, I think. So we'll give you a list of a few names, or maybe a few more names, and basically one name or one item will be missing. So I want you to tell me what is missing from the list. So, here we go. Inky, Pinky, Binky. That should actually be Blinky. Sorry, Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and who? So who is missing from that list, other than Blinky apparently? Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and who? Okay. Question number 2. Watson, Crick, Wilkins, and who? Okay, Watson, Crick, Wilkins, and who? Number 3, Connery, the Dalton, Craig, Brosnan, and who? Who's missing from that list? So again, Connery, Dalton, Moore, Craig, Brosnan, and who? Number 4, this one's slightly longer list and slightly different. Javan, Bali, Sumatran, Malayan, Indo-Chinese, South China, Caspian, Siberian, and who? Really, it should be a what, but just to keep with the format, we've gone with who. So again, Javan, Bali, Sumatran, Malayan, Indo-Chinese, South China, Caspian, Siberian, and who, or what? Number 5, Julian, Dick, George, Anne, and who? So Julian, Dick, George, Anne, and who? And lastly, in this round, Brazil, Germany, England, Spain, Italy, France, Uruguay, and who? Again, this one should be a where rather than a who. So Brazil, Germany, England, Spain, Italy, France, Uruguay, and who? Or where is missing? Okay, so quick recap, here we go. Inky, Pinky, Blinky, as it should be, and who? Number 2, Watson, Crick, Wilkins, and who? Connery, Dalton, Moore, Craig, Brosnan, and who? Number 4, Javan, Bali, Sumatran, Malayan, Indo-Chinese, South China, Caspian, Siberian, and who? or what? Question number 5, Julian, Dick, George, Anne, and who? And number 6, Brazil, Germany, England, Spain, Italy, France, Uruguay, and who? Okay, so I hope you've got your answers down. Let's have a look and see what the answers are. Okay, so number 1, Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde. These are the ghosts from the game Pac-Man. Okay, so Watson, Crick, Wilkins, and who? That is Franklin, or Rosalind Franklin if we go with the full name, but the other 3 are the surnames of the men who won the Nobel Prize for DNA discovery, while Franklin was left out, despite working with Wilkins on the X-ray diffraction patterns. Okay, number 3, Connery, Dalton, Moore, Craig, Brosnan, and who? The other one is Lazenby. So these are actors who played James Bond in the official movies. Number 4, Javan, Bali, Sumatran, Malayan, Indo-Chinese, South China, Caspian, Siberian, and who? It is Bengal. Bengal. So these are species of tigers. Okay, species of tigers. I think 2 or 3 of these are actually already extinct, and quite a few of the other ones are very much on the edge of extinction. So he's hoping that they get through it. Number 5, Julian, Dick, George, Anne, and who? The answer is Timmy. Okay, so these are characters from Enid Blyton's famous 5 series. Timmy, in fact, was the dog. And number 6, Brazil, Germany, England, Spain, Italy, France, Uruguay, and who? It was Argentina. So these are winners of the Men's Football World Cup. Okay, they're the only teams that have won it. Okay, so moving on, next round, as usual, our last 2 rounds are music. So round number 9 is music trivia. So, number 1, Crazy in Love was the first solo number 1 for which singer? Okay, which famous singer had their first solo number 1 with the song Crazy in Love? Question number 2. What is British singer Adele's surname? Okay, so what is Adele's surname? And these are very famous people she can get by just on her first name. Usually, but right here we want her surname. Okay, question number 3. Who was known as the Big O? Who was known as the Big O? And yeah, we'll keep the answers clean on this one, please. Who was known as the Big O? Number 4, according to the Animals, what was the name of the house in New Orleans? So again, according to the Animals, what was the name of the house in New Orleans? Question number 5. On Michael Jackson's album Thriller, who performed the only duet on the album with Michael Jackson? Okay, so on the album Thriller, who performed the only duet on the album with Michael Jackson? And finally, last one in the music trivia, which of the following artists was the first to have an album released on CD in 1982 when the format was first made available to the public in Japan? Was it Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, David Bowie, or Bob Dylan? Okay, so when CDs first became available to the public in Japan, which artist was the first to have an album released on it? Was it Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, David Bowie, or Bob Dylan? Okay, so quick recap, here we go. Number 1, Crazy in Love was the first solo number 1 for which singer? Number 2, what is singer Adele's surname? Number 3, who was known as the Big O? Number 4, according to the Animals, what was the name of the house in New Orleans? Number 5, on Michael Jackson's album Thriller, who performed the only duet on the album with Michael Jackson? And question number 6, which of the following artists was the first to have an album released on CD in 1982 when the format was first made available to the public in Japan? Was it Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, David Bowie, or Bob Dylan? Okay, so we're nearly there. Here we go on to the answers then. Let's see how you did. Number 1, Crazy in Love was a #1 hit for Beyonce. Number 2, Adele's last name is Adkins. Adkins. Number 3, The Big O was Roy Orbison. Number 4, the house in New Orleans was The Rising Sun. Number 5, the duet on Thriller was with Paul McCartney. I think the song was The Girl Is Mine. And number 6, of those 4 artists, the first to have the album on CD was Billy Joel. It was a re-release of 52nd Street. Okay, so how did you do there? Hope you did okay. Moving on to our last round. This is our music intros. They're actually, at this point, they're not necessarily intros, but they're just clips from songs. So what we'll do here, I'll play these intros or these songs for you. Each clip will have 2 songs in it, and they've been chopped up into small parts and mixed up. So what we're looking for is the name of the 2 songs on each clip. So it will play through right the way once, and then you'll have about 30 seconds, and then it will play again. Okay, so let's go with this. Here we go. Where's the play button? Here we go.
A big noise. Being in the street, gonna be a big man someday. I was dreaming when I wrote. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace.
I hope you're feeling happy now. Write a special mood for someone else.
She compromised my principles.
Because you feel good.
Maybe
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I'll be forever. Damn, goddamn, goddamn, goddamn. That you give me $1,000. God, no reason why you make me work so hard. Said she gonna leave me if I don't come home with 50. That you give me no that.
Forgive me if it goes astray. Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise. Ain't in the street, gonna be a big man someday. I was dreaming when I wrote. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace.
I hope you're feeling happy now.
Yeah, yeah.
Or on a special mood for someone else.
She compromised my principles.
Because you feel just
Maybe she's in need of a kiss.
Get away into the night and then you
Your name, baby. Maybe
holding on to one and
what is this now, baby? Maybe
so we're running just as fast as we can.
I said, hey, what's
Another sand.
Okay, so that is the end of the music round. Hope you got all those. Just before we go on to the answers, I'd just like to give you a reminder there about the URL kidsneededucation.org. If you're able to make any kind of donation, if you've enjoyed the quiz, just give them £1, give them $1. If you're able to give more, brilliant. And as well, if you have enjoyed the quiz, please give the video a like. Give the, if you're watching on YouTube, give the channel a subscribe as well. It, helps me to know people are enjoying it. And if you're watching on Facebook, give the page a like as well. And once we've gone through all the scores, pop your scores down in the comments down below. See how you did. Okay, so on to the answers then. Number 1, the songs were Killing Me Softly by Roberta Flack and Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads. Okay, number 2 was Alone by Heart and Suspicious Minds by Elvis. Number 3 was Bills by Lunch Money Lewis and A Little Respect by Erasure. Number 4 was 1999 by Prince and We Will Rock You by Queen. Number 5 was Hedonism by Skunk Anansie and Addicted to Love by Robert Palmer. And number 6 was All Right Now by Free and I Think We're Alone Now by Tiffany. Okay, so there's 1 point for each of those that you got. So tally up your scores and see, add them all together with all the other rounds. Let us know how you did. Okay, so that is the end of the quiz. Again, please, give us a like, give us a share, give us a comment, give us a subscribe. It, lets us know that you're enjoying it and lets me know to keep on going. Okay, so here we go. Thank you very much for taking part. As I say, like, share, follow, subscribe for more regularly updated trivia content. And until the next time, until the next quiz, thank you very much for taking part and goodbye.